Hey guys, Bipolar Barbie here. I wanted to talk today about a specific topic, probably the most talked about topic when it comes to mental illness, and that is medication. It's a topic that everybody seems to have some form of really strong opinion on, a topic that is heavily stigmatized, and a topic that everybody thinks they have a right to judge other people on. A topic that everybody seems to fight about in some way, and honestly I think it's more the people who don't take medication or don't believe in taking medication that feel strongest about their opinion and feel this need to educate everyone else, and particularly people who have chosen to take medication, on the reasons medication is evil, the reasons that medication is destroying yourselves. And honestly I think they go out of their way to make people who do take medication feel like they are doing it because they are uninformed, because they are buying into the pharmaceutical conspiracy theory. I don't know, there's some pretty funny, pretty hilarious stuff that they come up with. This is not a pro-medication video. I have chosen to take medication. That is a well-informed decision that I have made. It's a personal choice. Whether you take medication or not is completely up to you. If you have managed to treat your illness and you're being honest about yourself when you say that you have managed to treat your illness without medication, then good on you. That's great. Some people can't. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my medication. But that is just an honest fact. I have really struggled to find the right medications, but now that I have, it's been a completely life-changing experience for me. There are many different types of mental illness as well, so the fact that people put it under one umbrella really annoys the shit out of me. Mental illness, people don't suffer from a mental illness. They suffer from a mental illness or multiple mental illnesses. So I think it's really important when we're talking about mental illness not to generalize it, to talk specifically. If you're saying you've cured your anxiety without medication, that's great. But don't tell someone with schizophrenia or bipolar that they can have the same effects without medication. No. They have completely different causes. They affect people in completely different ways. There are really situational mental illnesses, things like depression and anxiety, that nearly everyone will experience at some point in their life. And making healthy lifestyle changes can honestly help. It might be all that they need is therapy and really simple things like that to change their life. Other people, their brains are broken. So medication is not going to break their brains if it's already broken. You know what I mean? It's you can't expect a machine to function well unless it's all the parts within it are working. So that's just my little rant about that section of it. So if you're one of those people that is going to go on and judge everyone and rampage in the comments below and try and educate people as to why they shouldn't take medication, you know what? There's enough information out there on that particular topic. So please just stop watching this video. I really don't care. This video is standing up for the people who do take medication and who are over being shamed for the fact that they take medication. They are over people calling them dumb, ill-informed, miseducated, naive, all of the labels that they come up with for someone simply deciding to take medication. I think however it is you decide to deal with your mental illness, the main fact is you're dealing with it. And that is awesome. If you have the self-awareness and you realize that something is wrong and you are trying to be better, you are trying to get better, you want to be the best version of yourself, you're taking ownership of that, the initiative of that, and you have begun your journey of recovery, my hat's off to you, you know what I mean? You are on to an awesome start, and that is what people should be focusing on, rather than judged for the way in which they go about it. So I guess what a lot of people say to me as well is the reasons why they hate medication is because medication didn't work for me. The amount of times I hear that, it's kind of what do you mean medication didn't work for you? In what way did medication not work for you? I think what a lot of people do is they might take their first ever antidepressant and then go, nah, this doesn't work for me, therefore antidepressants don't work for me. I think that is really wrong. The first antidepressant that I ever took made me like a zombie. So guess what? I went to the doctor and I said, I don't think this one's working for me. Can we try something else? And he went, sure. There are so many different meds available on the market in each category. It's ridiculous. They just start you off with like the basic one, and then they just go like from there. They work their way down a list strategically based on like, you know, the intensity of the meds and how people react to them. Everyone's brain chemistry is different. Some people respond differently. Each antidepressant has its own unique chemical makeup. That's why they have different names. They are completely different products. You know, you've got your antidepressants, your SSRIs, your SNRIs. Like, there are so many different ones out there. I guess I have experienced a lot of medications that haven't worked for me. But what I haven't done is generalize them and gone, all medications don't work for me. I haven't discarded a complete class of medications because one didn't sit well with me. Like, it's expected that some medications won't sit well with you. And when you do have complex mental illnesses, like, it's granted that some are not going to sit well. I think, like, you know, for me, some of my bipolar medication didn't help my anxiety, and it didn't help my borderline. It didn't help my PMDD. Like, for me, it was about finding a range of medications, a combination that worked really well together. And guess what? That took me 6 years. That took me over 20 different medications. It took me through over 100 different medical professionals. It took me years of research, years of trial and error, years of begging. It just, you know, to get to the stage where I am now, which is awesome. Like, I'm so happy I can be here. And, you know, the main reason for that is medication. There's also a lot of goddamn hard work and a lot of other lifestyle changes. But I think when I was so far down, medication got me to this, like, middle basic functioning level where I could actually start working on everything else to get me that, you know, top level of recovery that I've really been searching for. There is one class of medications that never really have sat well with me, and that is the SSRIs. I don't know why. At first, like, I've taken probably like 5 different types of them, and at first I didn't really know what was going on, even to the point where I had surgeries. I had like lactose intolerance, gluten intolerance, fructose intolerance. Like, I had such upset stomachs. I had such nausea, diarrhea. I'd been hospitalized like 5 times because they thought I needed my appendix out. They thought my kidneys weren't working. Like, all of this stuff. And basically all it ended up being is that this particular class of meds doesn't really sit well in my stomach. I mean, it makes sense, the correlation, because there is serotonin in your stomach. So some of the antidepressants might make you really nauseous because they are affecting those serotonin levels in your stomach. I always have had a sensitive stomach with stomach ulcers and stuff like that. So it probably just made it like a lot worse the way that this particular class of meds work. I've figured that out now, and I don't kind of take them anymore. They were also really prone to giving me kind of like a type of mania, kind of an instant hit, and then like 3 months later just kind of not working at all. So I have, you know, decided with my doctors to not try that class of medication. But I haven't gone and all antidepressants are bad, or all medication is bad just because I've had a few bad side effects with like one particular type of med or one particular class of medications. I've been on multiple mood stabilizers until I finally found like the right ones. I think, like, in general, taking medication is a lifestyle choice that I have made because it works. It does work. I mean, there is mountains of scientific research out there that proves that it really does work. And I think anyone who says that medication doesn't work, you know, maybe you just haven't found the right one. So I just encourage you to, like, all keep trying. That's the whole reason for this video. People are asking me all the time, what meds do I take? And I'm kind of, I don't like talking about the medication that I'm on. Not because I'm ashamed of it or anything, but it has changed so much. It changes all the time. It's not like there's no magical medication. There might be for you. You just have to find it. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not qualified to diagnose people. I'm not qualified, you know, to pick out the right medications. I'm happy to tell you what meds that I am on, you know, and the effects that they have had for me, because I do think it is important to talk about those things. But I think medication is a really personal journey that we each need to go on. It's a really intimate journey that you need to be discussing with your own personal doctors who know all of your story. I think, yeah, that's why I don't talk about it that often. That's probably why I don't answer when I get asked those questions really frequently. But the only point to this video is that fact. If something is not working, there are many different options out there. Please try something else. And don't let anyone else influence the way in which that you have decided to pursue recovery. Because if you're pursuing it, like, you're awesome. And anyone who is still watching this video that is all anti-medication, don't assume that, like, just because someone's taking medication, that's all that they are doing to help with their mental illness. Don't, consider that an opportunity to basically educate them about everything else, whether it be meditation, exercising, healthy eating, I don't know, like herbs. Most of these people are pro-drugs, and honestly, the only time I've ever used drugs and alcohol was to self-medicate when the medication wasn't working. So I've been able to be sober now and so much better mentally since I have found the right medication, and I don't need to do those things anymore to self-medicate. But whatever, you guys are the captains of your own ship. You're navigating the waters of your own life and your recovery. Just don't let anyone make you feel like a piece of shit because you take medication. And if you're one of those people, you don't have a right to do that. You really don't. So let's just stop med shaming, please, because it really annoys me.